Hi everyone, this is Erica Slayton, and I'm bringing you another installment of Wednesday Wisdom. So recently, I've been flying quite a bit for personal and business reasons, and sometimes the Wi-Fi is not always like we would like to have it on the plane. So I always bring a book because they always say bring a book just in case. And so recently, I had watched a couple of YouTube videos, a lot like mine, and kept hearing about this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I thought to myself, I'm really interested to see what that book has to say and what it's about. And the fact that it had been written almost 100 years ago by a gentleman who was enlisted by Andrew Carnegie to research why all of these great business owners and successful people in that time had come about their fortunes and success and whatnot. So just to name a few people that this book is actually based on the research from is people such as Henry Ford, which of course we all know the Ford cars and trucks. People such as George Eastman, Theodore Roosevelt, Elbert Hubbard, Wilbur Wright, Charles Schwab, John D. Rockefeller, Edwin Barnes, Woodrow Wilson, people such as Thomas Edison, George Alexander, Arthur Nash, and a whole lot more. You can see that when I read my books, I highlight a lot. But this is a lot of people who got interviewed and studied about what made them successful and how they did it in their own personal business and personal lives. And like I said, it's not just about money. It's about health and prosperity and success and personal relationships and things like that become successful and what makes all of those things kind of happen and tick. So I thought what better topic for me to discuss in the next videos of this series would be sort of the principles and the things that I got out of this book to be able to share with you to try to incorporate them into your life. So hopefully you get something out of this. One of the things in the first chapter that really resonated with me is basically a little bit of background about Thomas Edison and the gentleman that brought himself into partnership with him. But one of the important things about this first chapter is failure. And one of the most common causes of failure is just quitting too soon, right? So not having the persistence. So that really resonated with me because it talks about the fact that sometimes we do quit too soon, whether that's in personal relationships and ultimately leads to a divorce situation, whether it means that you've tried a new advertising method and you quit too soon because it was just now getting ready to kick in, but you hadn't given it long enough time to do that, or persistence on, in my case, like a loan approval, and I just didn't take it a little bit farther enough that I should have. There's a lot of different things that we can kind of relate to that in quitting too soon. It was really interesting because one of the people that he talked about in this book was a gentleman who was actually mining for gold. So obviously back in that time in the late 1800s, early 1900s, the gold rush was, really important aspect of trying to build wealth, and people were, out there to try to get their fortunes. But it was interesting because this man had started mining, bought a mine, started mining, and he literally did not find gold and quit 3 feet before a vein was there for him to strike gold, which is just crazy to think. You had gone so far, gone thousands of feet in this huge area known to have gold, and you stopped 3 feet before your fortunes are met. And so another person came in, bought the mine from them at, probably pennies on the dollar, and kept going because he hired himself a professional to come in and help make sure that they were in the right spot. And only 3 feet later, the new mining operator and owner struck gold in a big way. So that was pretty interesting. And one of the words that I loved in this book, and I've actually heard it before, but I didn't know, that this was one of the areas that it came from, was called stickability. And instead of quitting the gold mining business altogether, he could have just stuck it out for 3 more feet and actually been very successful in his gold mining operation. So it's pretty interesting. And this is a quote from the book. Before success comes in any man's life, and of course, women too, he is sure to meet with such or much temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. When defeat overtakes a man or woman, the easiest and most logical thing to do is to quit. That is exactly what the majority of people do, is to just quit. And I've done it in my life. I know that you've done it in yours. And I know that I've regretted those things, those decisions of quitting too soon. And so that's just a brief little synopsis of the very first little part of the book that I got out of it. But it's basically turning those failures and those defeat into success for yourself. And what do you need to do to prevent yourself from quitting in the future and create that notion of stickability in your life, to where you can stick it out and make things work, and make sure that you've exhausted all of your options and all of your potential options in order to be able to make it work for yourself in whatever it is that you're trying to endeavor for. So I'm super excited about bringing this particular topic and book study to you. And I really hope that you hop on Amazon.com and get your own copy, because it's not expensive. Again, I'll show you my book. Some of them are smaller versions. This kind of, to me, resembles a workbook, but it's a great book for you to pick up and really study and highlight, as you can tell, because I think it's a great book for life. So make it a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this installment, and I look forward to bringing you more information about this book going forward. Have a great day.